I was working late at my auto shop in Savannah, Georgia, when I first met Emily. My shop's in a quiet corner of Chatham County, nothing fancy, just a place where I fix up cars, some regular, some high-end like Porsches and Maseratis. I'd been in the Army for 6 years, stationed in places like Kuwait and Italy, and after getting out, I opened the shop. That evening, I was buried in paperwork, forgot to lock the front door, and that's when everything changed. Emily walked in with her friend Monica, both of them laughing, their voices cutting through the hum of the shop's fluorescent lights. Emily was wearing this light blue top with tiny white flowers, a little low-cut, paired with dark jeans and sandals. I swear, the moment I saw her, my heart did a double take. "Hey, anybody around?" she called out, her voice warm but confident. I stepped out from the back, wiping my hands on a rag. "What can I do for you, ma'am?" I asked, trying not to stare. Her car wouldn't start, she said, parked a block away on a side street. It was late, and I could have told her to come back tomorrow, but something about her made me want to help. "Let me grab the tow truck," I said. "We'll haul it over and take a look." Monica smirked at Emily like they had some inside joke, but I didn't mind. I towed the car to the shop, popped the hood, and saw the battery cable was loose. One quick turn with a wrench, and the engine hummed to life. Emily's face lit up. "What do I owe you?" she asked, leaning against the car. I felt my cheeks get hot. "Seeing that smile's payment enough," I said, half joking but meaning every word. She stepped closer, her eyes locked on mine, and before I knew it, she kissed my cheek. "Thanks," she said softly, her voice like a melody. Then, as she reached for the car door, she paused and turned back. "Hey, why don't you come over for dinner tomorrow?" My way of saying thanks. I couldn't believe my luck. "Yeah, I'd love that," I said, trying to play it cool. She handed me her business card, flashed another smile, and said, "Call me tomorrow for the address." As they drove off, Monica was already giving her a hard time. "You don't even know him, Em," she said, loud enough for me to hear. "He's a mechanic, not your usual type." Emily just laughed. "You know where he works, Monica. If he's in trouble, you'll know who to tell the cops about." "But I've got a good feeling about him." I stood there, grinning like an idiot, already counting the hours until I'd see her again. The next night, I showed up at her place in Augusta at 6:45, but I waited outside until exactly 7 o'clock to knock. Didn't want to seem too eager. Emily lived in a cozy apartment in Richmond County, and when she opened the door, I handed her a bottle of wine and a small bunch of daisies. "These are for you," I said. She smiled, setting the flowers in a vase, and I couldn't help but watch her. She was barefoot, wearing a soft gray top, unbuttoned just enough to catch my eye, and snug jeans that moved with her like they were made for her. Dinner was homemade lasagna, her own recipe, and it was incredible. But the real magic was the conversation. We talked about everything, her job at a local insurance office, typing up policies from 9 to 5, and how she loved painting in her spare time. Her watercolors were all over the walls, bursts of color that made the place feel alive. I told her about my Army days, the funny moments and the tough ones, and how I now ran 3 shops, one for rentals, one for custom builds, and the one she'd visited. She listened, really listened, and I saw her eyes soften when I mentioned the harder parts of my past. Emily wasn't some drop-dead gorgeous model, but she had this natural charm, 5 feet 5 inches with long auburn hair she tucked behind her ears. She had a way of drawing you in without even trying. As the night went on, we drank wine, played cards, and laughed until it got late. Then she looked at me, her voice soft. "Want to stick around a bit longer?" My heart raced, but I hesitated. I pulled her close, feeling the warmth of her against me. "Emily, I like you a lot. I think this could be something real. But we just met, and I don't want to rush things. I want to do this right." She blinked, surprised. "You don't like me?" she asked, half teasing. I looked right into her eyes. "No, I really do. That's why I want to take it slow. Don't want to mess up something this good." She nodded, a small smile creeping back. As I left that night, I couldn't stop thinking about her. But I also knew she'd gotten flowers and a card at work that day, not from me. She hadn't mentioned them, but Monica let it slip when they were leaving the shop. A huge bouquet, a CD with a love song, and a card with words that hit deep: "When I give my heart, it's all in, or I don't fall at all. The moment I know you feel it too, that's when I'm yours." Her coworkers had been buzzing, teasing her about some mystery guy. I couldn't shake the thought of another name on her mind, Michael Carter. Monica mentioned him in passing, and I pieced it together from what she said. He was her high school sweetheart, the guy who took her to prom, the one she gave her heart to back in the day. They were tight for 2 years in high school in Mobile, Alabama, until he left for Yale to study medicine. Emily stayed behind, went to a local college, but they drifted apart. Letters turned to emails, then nothing. She dropped out, started working at the insurance office, and life moved on. But she never stopped wondering about him, dreaming he'd come back, maybe make her Mrs. Dr. Michael Carter. He was more than a memory to her, almost a legend. She dated other guys, but none stuck. One lasted 5 months, a good guy, but she ended it, feeling like she was betraying Michael. That night, as I drove home, I wondered if I could ever measure up to that ghost from her past. But something about Emily felt worth the fight. My gut told me she was special, and my gut's rarely wrong. I couldn't sleep that night after leaving Emily's. Her laugh, the way her eyes sparkled, the soft brush of her hand when we said goodnight, it all kept me tossing and turning in my bed. I'd told her I wanted to take things slow, and I meant it, but man, it wasn't easy. When I kissed her goodnight, it felt like a promise, not a rejection. Something real was starting, and I could tell she felt it too. The next day, she called her friend Monica, and I heard about it later. Emily admitted she'd asked me to stay, and when I said no, Monica thought I was nuts, or maybe not into women. Emily just laughed. "Trust me, that kiss he gave me says otherwise," she told her. I grinned when Monica relayed that story to me months later. Guess I made an impression. For months in, I was head over heels for Emily. She'd known it from the start, or so she claimed, with that sly smile of hers. A year after our first date, we tied the knot in a small ceremony in Savannah, just family and a few close friends. We moved into my house on the edge of town, a cozy spot in Effingham County, and started building a life together. Right before she walked down the aisle, Emily peeked through the church doors. I was up front in my tux, chatting with my best man, feeling nervous but ready. She told me later her heart felt so full, like she'd won the lottery just having me. But that memory, as warm as it was, turned bittersweet for her later. She felt like she'd let me down, broken promises we made that day. It weighed on her, heavy as a stone. She slid the CD into her player, and Ella Fitzgerald's voice filled the room, smooth and warm. It took her back to our first anniversary. That day, Emily had gone all out, hair done, nails polished, everything perfect. She was at the top of the stairs in our Savannah house, putting on earrings, when I walked in. I stopped dead, staring. She looked like a vision in a soft green dress. I was holding a silver box with a card and CD, but in my daze, I dropped it. Stuff spilled across the floor, cards, a disc, and a small velvet box. I scrambled to pick it all up, feeling like a clumsy kid. Handing her the velvet box, I said, "Happy anniversary, darlin'." Inside was a sapphire pendant, gleaming in the light. Her eyes lit up, and she asked me to clasp it around her neck. She checked herself in the mirror, beaming. "This is the best gift I've ever gotten," she said, and I swear, seeing her happy was worth every penny. I popped the CD into the player, and Ella's voice came through, "You're my everything, and I'll cherish you always." I held out my hand. "Care to dance, my beautiful wife?" She took my hand, and we swayed, lost in the music and each other. When the song ended, I leaned in, my voice low. "How about we skip the restaurant and head upstairs?" She raised an eyebrow, smirking. "No way, Lucas. I spent all day getting ready, and you spent a fortune on this night. We're going out." I groaned, remembering my own words about waiting making things better. "You're using my line against me," I said, but I was grinning. She was right, and I loved that about her. We went to a fancy Italian place in Savannah, laughed at a comedy show, danced at a jazz bar, and talked until the stars came out. On the drive home, we could barely keep our hands to ourselves. The waiting paid off, and that night, we made love, sweet and perfect, the kind of memory you hold on to forever. Emily kissed that sapphire pendant later, a tear slipping down her cheek, before putting it back in her jewelry box and returning the CD and card to the silver box. Then she reached for the second silver box, her fingers lingering. She slid the CD in, and Louis Armstrong's voice rolled out, deep and soulful, singing about a love that lasts. It was our second anniversary, a Saturday. I'd been gone for a week at a conference in Memphis, Tennessee, and all I could think about was seeing Emily. I hoped she'd be alone, no surprise guests, just us. When I walked in, I froze. There she was in the living room, wearing this sheer lavender robe that made my breath catch. In my hands were 2 boxes, just like last year's anniversary. I set them on the coffee table, ready to pull her close, but she put her hands on my chest, pushing me back with a playful smile. "Hold on, cowboy," she said. "Let's see what's in those boxes first." I handed her the small jewelry box, my grin wide. She opened it and gasped. Inside was a pair of emerald earrings and a bracelet to match the sapphire pendant from last year. "Put 'em on for me, will you?" she teased, her eyes sparkling. I laughed, shaking my head. "Only if you give me the other box." She passed me the silver box, and I handed her the CD inside, skipping the card for now. I popped it into the stereo, and Louis Armstrong's warm voice filled the room, singing about a love that's unforgettable. She stepped close, her lips finding mine in a deep, slow kiss that made the world disappear. A couple of hours later, we were sprawled on the couch, ordering pizza and sipping wine. Nothing fancy, just perfect. "Better than last year," I said, grinning. Emily laughed, her voice light. "Yeah, maybe we do that workout again later." And we did. That night kicked off a tradition: pizza, wine, and those workouts that kept us close for months. 5 months after our second anniversary, when we'd loved each other like newlyweds, her past came crashing back. Michael Carter, her high school sweetheart, the guy she'd dreamed about for years, had returned. He'd been back in Savannah for 2 months, setting up a private medical practice in Effingham County. He needed insurance and walked into Emily's office one day. I wasn't there, but Monica told me how it went down. Emily was walking by, focused on work, when Michael spotted her. "Emily, is that you?" he called out. Her heart stopped, she said later. It was like time rewound. "Michael, when did you get back?" she replied, her voice shaky. He stood, pulled her into a hug that lasted too long, too familiar. "You're just as stunning as you were in high school," he said, flashing that same charming smile. "Maybe even more now. Let's grab lunch, catch up." "I'd love to," Emily said, grabbing her purse without a second thought. They walked out, hands brushing, not noticing the stares from her coworkers. Everyone knew me, liked me, even though Emily was lucky to have a guy like me. Monica wasn't having it. She dragged Emily into the bathroom after lunch, locking the door. "What are you doing?" she hissed. "You're married, and you're waltzing out with some guy like that?" "Who is he?" Emily stammered, "Just an old friend from high school." "It was just lunch." Monica didn't buy it. "Everyone's talking, Emily. That wasn't just lunch to anyone who saw you too." Emily tried to stay calm. "It's nothing more than that." But Monica wasn't done. "You told me you'd deck Michael Carter if you ever saw him again for breaking your heart. Now you're hugging him? I saw you kiss him when you came back." Emily sank onto a chair, her voice small. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. He woke something up in me." Monica's eyes softened but stayed firm. "You're gonna ruin your marriage if you keep this up. I've got your back, but not if you do this." Emily whispered, "I know. I won't let it ruin what I have with Lucas." Monica nodded, not fully convinced, but let it go. For weeks, it was lunches, then drinks after hours, then full-on date nights when I was stuck late at the shop. Michael played it cool, patient, like he had all the time in the world. He wanted her back, married or not, and the chase was half the fun for him. When I told Emily about my week-long conference in Memphis and asked her to come, she said she couldn't get time off. I was disappointed but didn't push. I had no idea she wasn't planning to join me. The second my plane left, she called Michael. "Come over," she said. No more waiting. He spent 6 nights and 5 days in our house, in our bed, with my wife. He was smooth, confident, and knew exactly what he was doing. The wine, the nights, it all blurred her judgment. By Friday, she was his, but the betrayal started the moment he walked back into her life. I'd spent months earning her love, he did it in 5 days. That Saturday morning, Emily decided. Michael was closing on a house in 2 weeks. She'd stay with me until then, but her mind was made up, she was leaving. He left our place at 9 a.m. An hour later, there was a knock at the door. Emily opened it, expecting me, but it was just a florist with a huge bouquet in a white box. My anniversary surprise, sent early. She tipped the guy, shut the door, and opened the box. Inside was a card and a CD. She played it, and a country song filled the room, something about driving home from Memphis, my old truck still running strong, and how I couldn't wait to see her. The lyrics hit her hard. I'm coming home, and if you think I'm happy, you're damn right. She wondered how I'd pick such a perfect song. I'd be thrilled to be home, ready to celebrate, just the two of us. She hoped she could hide what she'd done while I was gone, just for 2 more weeks. At 4 p.m., my limo pulled up. I stepped out, heart pounding, smiling wide. But when I saw Emily on the couch, something felt off. She stood, gave me a quick, half-hearted kiss. Let's head upstairs, she said, her voice flat. Missed you. 6 days was too long. I whispered, way too long, but she brushed me off. I'm tired, Lucas. Maybe later. My stomach dropped. This wasn't my Emily. I unpacked my bags, confused, and when I came back, she was in the kitchen, cooking. I tried to hug her, but she pulled away fast. Not now, I'm busy. Can't you see I'm cooking? Give me some space. Her words stung, sharp and cold. I stood there, wondering who this woman was and what had happened to us. I stepped back from Emily, my heart sinking as I sat on the couch in our Savannah home. The air felt heavy, like a storm was brewing. She wasn't the same woman I'd left for that Memphis conference. No warmth, no spark, just a cold distance. She couldn't even meet my eyes. I caught her stealing a glance at me while I stared out the window, and I knew something was wrong. Not the full picture, but enough to twist my gut. After dinner, I tried to pull her close, desperate for some sign we were still us. I led her upstairs, hoping for that connection, but afterward, she turned away, tears streaming down her face. I didn't know what to say. I showered, threw on some clothes, and left without a word. Didn't come back until Sunday night. When I walked in, Emily was waiting. Where were you? She asked, her voice small. At the shop, catching up on paperwork, I shot back, sharper than I meant. You didn't call. I was worried, she said. I snorted. You've got a phone, don't you? That shut her down. The fight drained out of us, and the silence stung worse than words. Everyone knew about her and Michael Carter by now. Nobody was shocked. Clara spoke up first, her voice cutting through the quiet. Emily, what have you done? Emily's tone was flat. I'm leaving Lucas in 2 weeks. Moving in with Michael. Clara shook her head. You're making a huge mistake. Lucas is one of the best guys out there. This new guy? He's not gonna last. Stop this before it's too late. He's catching on. Emily whispered something, barely audible. Then it's your loss, Clara said, walking away. The room cleared out, leaving just Monica and another coworker, Nora. Nora stared hard. You're really leaving Lucas? Emily snapped, yeah. Nora nodded and left. Monica stayed, her voice heavy. You didn't listen to me, Emily. Don't come crying when this blows up. I've been calling, texting, and you ignored me. I'm disappointed. She turned and walked out. That night, the tension in our house was thick enough to choke on. Emily slammed the CD onto the kitchen table, her eyes blazing. Why'd you send me that damn song, Lucas? I'm your wife. What's that supposed to mean? I leaned back, my jaw tight, a cold edge to my voice. Wife? That's rich. Saturday, you were acting like you belonged to someone else, not me. I nodded at the CD. That song? It says exactly what's on my mind. Her face twisted, anger flaring. You've got it all wrong, Lucas. Completely wrong. I locked eyes with her, my voice steady but ice cold. Do I? Because I'm seeing you clear as day now. She didn't answer, but I saw the truth in her silence. She'd had a chance to come clean and let it slip. Deep down, she didn't want to tell me, didn't want to face what she'd done. I was gone more, crashing at the shop, sometimes for days. The silence between us was a chasm, and it made everything worse. With me out of the house, Emily and Michael didn't have to sneak around as much. One Friday, she drove past my shop in Savannah. My truck was there, so she figured I wasn't coming home. She called Michael. It's clear. Meet me at the house. What she didn't know was I'd spent hours that day picking out a song and writing a card, hoping to fix us, to talk, to save what we had. I was clinging to hope, no proof, just a need to believe. At 8:30 p.m., I locked up the shop and drove home. Turning onto our street in Effingham County, I saw an unfamiliar car parked outside. Something told me not to pull into the driveway. I parked a few houses down and walked up, holding a bouquet in a white box. The door was locked. I let myself in quietly. The house was too still. At the bottom of the stairs, where Emily once stood in that green dress that took my breath away, I heard voices. Movement. The bed creaking. My chest tightened, my face flushed, then drained. I climbed the stairs, careful, and pushed open the bedroom door. There they were, Emily and Michael Carter, her high school sweetheart, the guy she swore was out of her life. They didn't see me. Tears burned my eyes, my heart splitting open. I could have yelled, started a fight, but what would that get me? A night in jail? Her lying in court? No. I backed away, louder than I meant, but they didn't notice. In the kitchen, I set the flowers down, opened the white box, and snapped the CD in half. I left the pieces on the table, grabbed the card, and walked out, slamming the door. Upstairs, Emily froze. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Michael brushed it off, annoyed. "It's nothing." But she pushed him away, grabbed her robe, and went downstairs. When she saw the flowers and the broken CD, something inside her shattered. That box wasn't just a gift, it was my last plea. She knew I still wanted her, but she also knew I'd seen the truth. Have I watched them? Heard them? She didn't know, but the guilt hit her like a freight train. She never meant to hurt me like this. Leaving was one thing, but this was something else. I stayed away for a week, crashing at my shop in Effingham County. Michael had practically moved into our house by then. That night, Emily and Michael talked at our house. "Just leave now," he said. "No, Lucas deserves the truth. I owe him that, face to face." Michael shrugged. "Fine, but do it by Saturday." Saturday morning, 9:45, I walked into our kitchen. Emily was sitting at the table, 2 packed bags by the door. Most of her stuff was already at Michael's. My eyes locked on those bags, and whatever hope I had left just died. I didn't say a word. Walked to the fridge, grabbed a beer, popped it open, then chucked it into the sink, the glass shattering. I dropped onto the couch, took a long swig from another bottle, trying to swallow the anger burning in my chest. "So," I said, my voice low and sharp, "guess you answered my question." Emily blinked, confused. "What question?" I didn't look at her. "You're leaving with him, aren't you? Not staying here with me." She let out a breath, like my words hit her hard. "You love that jerk?" I asked, my tone biting. "Yeah," she whispered, barely audible. I laughed, cold and bitter. "Then why the hell am I still fighting for you?" She mumbled, "I'm sorry, Lucas," but it sounded hollow. I slammed the bottle down on the table, staring at nothing. "Time's up, Emily. Get out of my life." She froze, not expecting that. This wasn't the me she knew. "You gonna help me with my bags or what?" she snapped, trying to keep her voice steady. I turned, my jaw tight. "Carry your own damn bags. You made your choice." Shaken, she grabbed her stuff, dragged it outside, and texted Michael to pick her up. She wanted to explain, to soften the blow, to say she still cared about me, just not like she did for him. She'd hoped for a kind goodbye, but I'd drawn a line. If she didn't want me, she had to go. She looked back at our house, 3 years of memories, some happy, some not. Then she heard a sound from the kitchen. Curious, she peeked through the window and stopped dead. I was sitting there, back to her, shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Her throat tightened. Her strong husband, broken. She raised her hand to the glass, but her wedding ring clinked against it. I spun around, our eyes locking. Without a word, I grabbed her left hand through the open window, slid off her wedding and engagement rings, and tossed them onto the table. They hit the floor, clattering. I didn't look back. I stepped closer, stared her down, and slowly closed the blinds, my eyes never leaving hers until the slats cut her off. The anger in my gaze shook her. For the first time, she was scared of me, and scared for Michael. He'd called me weak, but she wasn't so sure now. She'd underestimated me. Michael pulled up, grabbed her bags, and shouted something crude at the house. Emily felt a wave of relief that I didn't come out. She'd wanted a clean break, but that was gone now. I stood outside our home, my heart heavy with the weight of what I'd lost. Emily was with Michael now, her first love, chasing a second chance she thought she needed. She was ready to do whatever it took to make it work with him, but it hit me hard that she'd once promised me the same thing, to do anything to keep me happy. Now, she'd broken that vow to both of us. It brought back a memory from my cousin Abigail's wedding in Macon, Georgia. Abigail had looked Emily square in the eyes that day and asked, "Do you really love my cousin?" Emily smiled, her voice steady. "Yeah, I love him." Abigail didn't return the smile. "I hope so. I don't want Lucas hurt again." Emily frowned. "Why's that?" Abigail let out a long breath. "You don't know his story, do you?" Emily shook her head. Abigail told her how my mom passed when I was 7, how my dad drank himself into the grave by the time I was 12. My aunt, Abigail's mom, took me in, even though her husband wasn't thrilled. She always said family sticks together, but I grew up feeling like a burden, unwanted. In high school in Mobile, Alabama, I was a loner. No friends, no teams, no clubs. I was tough, though, fought anyone who came at me and won. Didn't make friends, but people steered clear. "Lucas is like a brother to me," Abigail said. "Just his name kept bullies away." Emily nodded, quiet. "He never told me that. Said his scars were from the army." Abigail's eyes softened. "Most are, but the one on his left side? That's from a knife." Emily's eyes widened. "A knife?" Abigail nodded. "After his first tour in Kuwait, we went to a rough bar in Macon. 2 guys wouldn't leave us alone, called us names when we said no. One tried to drag me out. Lucas stepped in, took a punch, fought back, and laid the guy out. The other pulled a knife, but Lucas still won. He's my hero. I don't know what would have happened without him." Emily didn't speak. Abigail's voice turned firm. "I'm protective of him. If you hurt him, you'll answer to me." Emily smiled. "I love him even more now. I swear I won't hurt him." But years later, that promise haunted her. I knew Michael didn't love Emily the way I did. Even after everything she'd done, I'd have taken her back in a heartbeat. I could see Michael for what he was, a guy who takes what he wants and walks away. I'd met his type before, users who leave wreckage behind. Emily heard the words in that Simon and Garfunkel song I sent, but they didn't sink in. She wasn't ready to face the truth. That CD was my last try to reach her, and it fell flat, just like all the others. She tucked it back in the white box, her hands trembling, guilt washing over her. She remembered what I'd said when I gave her that box, clear as day. It was a sunny Sunday morning in Savannah, Georgia, and she was headed to the mall with Monica, looking for a new outfit for a picnic I'd planned in Forsyth Park. They were laughing, windows down, music blaring in Emily's old sedan. Monica teased her, "So, how's it going with your mechanic guy?" Emily shot her a look. "He's not just a mechanic. He owns 3 shops. You know that." Monica grinned. "Chill, I'm messing with you." "So, what's the deal with you two?" Emily's voice was steady. "He loves me. I can feel it." Monica raised an eyebrow. "Oh, yeah? How do you know?" Emily smiled, her eyes soft. "It's in the way he looks at me. His whole face lights up when I walk into the shop. My car's always running better than it needs to because he has his guys tweaking it just to see me. He brings me lunch, and God help any guy who tries to flirt with me, he's broken up 2 fights over it." Monica laughed. "Sounds like he's all in. Has he said the L word yet?" Emily shook her head. "Not yet. I think he's waiting for me to say it first. He's shy like that." Monica's face turned serious. "And you? Do you love him?" Emily hesitated, her voice quieter. "I'm not sure. I think so, but it's hard to know." Monica frowned. "That's not gonna cut it with a guy like Lucas. You've gotta be sure. So, tell me straight, do you love him?" There was a long pause. Then Emily said, "It's been forever since I felt real love. Not since Michael." Monica rolled her eyes. "Enough about Michael. He lied, ditched you, never called or wrote. That was lust, not love. If he loved you, he'd be here. You've got a good man now. If Lucas hasn't said I love you, maybe he thinks you don't feel it back. Figure it out soon, or you'll lose him. And trust me, you'll miss Lucas way more than you ever missed Michael. Emily stayed quiet, but her mind was spinning. Later, she got ready for our picnic, slipping into a sundress and sandals, perfect for the warm Savannah day. I'd packed a spread, homemade sandwiches, wine, a blanket. We ate, laughed, and drank under the oak trees in Forsyth Park, the kind of day you want to bottle up. Back at her apartment in Effingham County, as the sun dipped low, I kissed her softly. "Emily, I've got to head out early," I said. She pouted. "Already? We just got here." "Stay, have more wine, talk." I shook my head. "Can't. Got a big meeting tomorrow with a rental car rep, could be a huge contract for the shop. Maybe for us down the road." Her eyes softened. "I get it. Call me when it's done." I cupped her face, kissed her again, my voice low. "You know I will." After I left, she changed into a comfy tee and sweats, flipping through TV channels. Then the doorbell rang. She peeked through the peephole, and there I was. Her heart jumped. She swung the door open, breath-catching. "Forget something?" she asked. I stepped inside. "Yeah, I forgot you." Before she could say anything, I pulled her close and kissed her, deep and sure. Then I stepped back, holding a thin white box. "Tomorrow, I'm meeting this big shot from the rental company," I said. "I'll talk to him like a pro, all confidence. But with you, I'm a mess. I can't say what I feel right." I handed her the box. "This says it for me. Call me anytime." She took it, confused, and watched me drive off. Inside was a CD and a note. She slipped the CD into the player, and George Strait's voice filled the room, singing about trusting someone with your heart. The note had one line, "Can I trust you with my heart?" Without thinking, she grabbed her phone and called me. "Hello?" I answered. "Yes," she said. "What?" I asked, confused. "You can trust me with your heart," she said. I shouted, "I'm coming back." Minutes later, I was at her door, running up the stairs, scooping her into my arms, kicking the door shut. My voice shook. "I love you, Emily, more than I've ever loved anyone." She looked into my eyes. "I feel the same." That night, we made love for the first time. She didn't say "I love you" back, not exactly, but I thought maybe she'd felt it all along. Now, it was too late. It had been 3 weeks since we'd seen each other. No calls, no texts, she'd kept her promise to stay away, and so had I. That Friday, Michael was getting ready. "Want to grab dinner at Murphy's downtown?" he asked. Emily shook her head. "No, Lucas and I used to go there. I don't want to run into him." Michael shrugged. "There's a new spot on Whitaker Street, near your office. I'll pick you up at 5. Sound good?" She nodded, half-hearted. "Sure." That night, Michael waited outside her work. At the bar, Emily noticed the bartender and waitress shooting her cold looks. They sat in a back corner. Then the door opened, and I walked in, sliding onto a bar stool, ordering a whiskey neat. Emily whispered to Michael, "Did you know he'd be here?" He smirked. "Nope." She knew he was lying. Michael stood. "Bathroom," he said, but headed straight for me. "Hey, buddy, didn't see you there," he said, loud enough for the room to hear. I didn't react, just sipped my drink. Michael leaned on my chair, grinning. "Don't be mad, man. She picked the better guy." I glanced at Emily, then back at him, my voice flat. "Yeah, she picked you." He laughed, smug, and walked away. Emily sat there, frozen. I didn't deserve this. I'd kept my word, stayed away. I finished my drink, went to pay, but the bartender waved me off. "On the house." I walked over to Emily's table, my voice low. "That was a cheap shot, Emily. Even for you. Did you enjoy watching him rub it in my face?" I said I'd leave you alone, and I have. She stammered, "I didn't know you'd be here, Lucas. I didn't know he'd do that. Please believe me." I shook my head. "After what you did, I don't trust you. And I sure as hell don't like him." Michael came back, still grinning. "Still here?" My hand clenched, thumb tucked under my knuckles, just like I'd taught Emily to punch years ago. His smirk faltered, a flicker of fear in his eyes. The waitress brought drinks, breaking the moment. Not the place, Lucas, she said. I nodded. You're right. And walked out. That night at the bar on Whitaker Street in Savannah was the last time I saw Emily. Michael followed me to the door, smirking like he'd won something. The waitress shot Emily a look. You left Lucas for that guy? This is the third time he's pulled this stunt. You didn't know? Emily shook her head, stunned. Michael asked, what did he say? Before she could answer, a guy approached. You might not remember me, he said. I was at your wedding with Lucas. Name's Curtis. Was there with my wife. Emily forced a smile. You dropped grapes in Lucas's drink at the dessert table, right? Curtis chuckled. That's me. How you holding up? I'm fine, she said, her voice tight. He glanced at Michael, his tone shifting. I own this place. Dinner's on us tonight, but after this, don't come back. Nobody wants you here. Emily's cheeks burned. Michael just laughed, unbothered. Curtis leaned toward him, voice low. Lucas won't start trouble here, but if he sees you out there, you better run. He won't play nice next time. Michael scoffed. I'm not scared. Curtis's smile was cold. Don't say I didn't warn you. Emily ate in silence, anger simmering. The food was good, but the night was sour. Michael had set this up, knowing I'd be there, not for dinner but to rub my face in it. Emily liked Curtis and his wife, but after Michael's stunt, she'd never return. Michael didn't even tip. That night, they had their first real fight. He yelled, furious she seemed to take my side. He's a loser, Michael snapped. I just wanted him to know you're mine. Emily stared at him, her faith in him cracking. Deep down, she knew if I'd fought Michael, he wouldn't have stood a chance. She felt a mix of sadness and relief, sad for what we'd lost, relieved to see Michael's true colors. A week later, at her insurance office in Effingham County, the door swung open. Emily froze as Abigail, my cousin, walked in, her eyes sharp and unforgiving. You don't keep your word, Abigail said. Emily's voice was soft. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. Abigail picked up Emily's nameplate, still Emily Harper, and dropped it with a thud. Here, she said, tossing a folder in a black box onto the desk. You've been served. She pointed at the box. You foolish, cheating woman. Lucas is too good for you. He's hurting, but he'll find someone better. And I hope you crawl back to him one day, only to see he's moved on. She leaned closer. Listen to that CD. It's beautiful, like my cousin. Too good for you. As she turned to leave, Nora called, hold on. Nora walked over, whispered something to Abigail, and handed her a small note. Abigail grinned, sly, and left, laughing. Nora came back, smirking. Monica and Clara approached. Monica asked, play it now or later? Emily echoed Abigail's words. It's beautiful. Monica nodded. Let's do it now. Emily slid the CD into the office player. A soft piano started, then Garth Brooks' voice filled the room, singing about a dance under the stars, a love that lingers even when it's gone. Monica and Clara's eyes teared up, and the office went quiet. Emily didn't cry, but the song hit her differently this time. It wasn't just regret, it was about cherishing something beautiful, even if it hurts later. She slipped the CD back into the black box. She'd see me only once more. After the divorce, Emily handed the papers to her lawyer. We split everything but my auto shops, I wouldn't budge on that. She didn't fight it. She was set to be a doctor's wife. Michael and Emily married a month after the mandatory 6-month waiting period. His practice in Savannah grew, 2 nurses, a receptionist, an accountant. They sold her old place and bought a house a few blocks from mine in Effingham County. Michael worked late often. Hippocratic oath, he'd say with a grin. Patients come first. Plus, they pay the bills. One Friday, his secretary called Emily. Doc's running late, a few more patients. Emily was disappointed but decided to surprise him. She cooked his favorite, lasagna with homemade sauce, packed it up, and drove to his office. Only 2 cars were in the lot, his and one she didn't recognize. The door was locked, but she had a key. Inside, it was quiet. She called out. No answer. Then she heard moans, not medical, something else. Her heart pounded as she moved toward the exam room. She pushed the door open. There was Michael with a woman, blonde, maybe 40, on the table, lost in each other. They didn't see her. What the hell is this? Emily screamed. They jumped, startled. She hurled the lasagna container, it burst, sauce splattering the walls, noodles on the floor. The truth hit like a punch. She slammed the door, stormed out, and jumped in her car, laughing wildly, shocked. The image of Michael and the blonde burned in her mind. Then the laughter stopped. Her hands shook as she started the engine. Home wasn't an option. She called Monica. It's me. I caught Michael cheating. I need to talk. Monica's voice sharpened. I'm with the girls at a bar on Drayton Street. Clara's here, sober. Meet us. Park nearby, we'll come out. Emily hesitated. I can't. I'm banned from there. Monica said, we'll meet you outside. Be there in 20. Then she added, one thing, Lucas is here with someone. Emily's breath caught. I don't care. I just need you guys. As she drove, her mind replayed the scene in Michael's office. Then it drifted to me, to that night she'd betrayed me with Michael. Now she understood the gut-wrenching pain I'd felt walking in on them, the shame, the helplessness. She had friends to lean on, but I'd been alone, carrying that hurt in silence. At the meeting spot, she opened her car door for Monica and Clara, tears streaming down her face. What happened? Monica asked, concerned. Emily choked out, I caught Michael with some 40-something blonde on his exam table, getting more than a checkup from my husband. Her voice turned bitter. Monica and Clara exchanged glances, not surprised. They'd never liked Michael, only shocked Emily hadn't seen it coming sooner. Clara spoke up. What goes around comes around. Emily sobbed. I know. I've been telling myself that all night. I feel betrayed, humiliated, and worthless. And the worst part? I never truly felt this when I hurt Lucas. Now I get it, the pain, the shame, the helplessness. I threw away something real, and he felt this same hurt. Now I know. Monica and Clara stayed quiet, letting her words sink in. She was already tearing herself apart. Finally, Clara asked, what now? Emily whispered, I don't know. I watched Emily drive off from that bar on Drayton Street in Savannah, her words about not caring that I was there with someone else ringing hollow. Monica and Clara headed back inside, finding their spots at the bar where I was ordering drinks with my date, Jenna. My face lit up when I saw them. Monica, Clara, been almost a year, right? I said, pulling them into quick hugs. They returned them, but their embraces were stiff, distant. I stepped back, sensing the chill. Did I mess up somehow? Last time we talked, things were fine. Monica spoke fast, her voice tight. Lucas, hold on. It's not what you think. Can we talk? I hesitated, glanced at Jenna, who nodded after a quick word. I sat back down with them. All right, I'm here. What's with the cold shoulder? Clara glanced at Monica, then spoke. It's not you, Lucas. We've got bad news. My stomach tightened. What's wrong? Can I help? Monica looked down. Maybe, but you might not want to. I leaned forward. What's that supposed to mean? Monica's voice softened. It's about Emily. My face went blank, then twisted into a bitter smirk. I let out a harsh laugh. Karma's a real piece of work, ain't it? I looked between them. Why tell me? What's she to me now? Clara shrugged. Nothing, I guess. Just explaining why we're here. I nodded, softening. Sorry, I jumped to conclusions. Where is she? Monica answered, she's at home, confronting Michael. My eyes narrowed. That's a bad move. Michael's a coward, but if he's cornered, he might get nasty. Won't think twice about hurting her. Clara leaned in, her gaze sharp. If he's such a coward, why didn't you fight for her when you had the chance? I went quiet, the question stinging. I asked if she loved him. She said yes. Said she didn't love me. What was I supposed to fight for? Beating him up wouldn't make her love me, it'd make her hate me. I could have ended up in jail. No win there. You get that? Clara nodded, her face softening with shame. Monica asked, gentler, so what now? I shook my head. Nothing, She's not my problem anymore. Monica's voice was soft. But you loved her once. I looked away. That was a long time ago. People change. Clara held my gaze. I know you, Lucas. 5 years. I've heard from Curtis and others. You help people, even when they don't deserve it. You didn't give up on Emily, even after she hurt you. I met her eyes, my voice firm. Clara, this is her mess now. She made her choice. Maybe she'll fight for herself. Maybe he'll see the error of his ways. Maybe not. If she needs me, I'm here, but this? I'm done. Silence settled over the table. I broke it. Ladies, I hope next time we meet, it's for a laugh, not this. If something bad goes down, let me know. They nodded, watching me head back to Jenna. She said something, and I laughed, but it was the wrong move. Jenna slammed her fork down, scolding me. Monica and Clara later told me they figured I'd mentioned Emily's affair and laughed about it. Jenna wasn't having it. I dropped my head, nodded, unsure, and stared at my plate. She put her hand on mine, her voice softening. I get it. I didn't eat after that. We finished quietly, paid, and left. Monica and Clara sat there, worried about how Emily would handle Michael, leaving the bar with uneasy hearts. Monday and Tuesday, Emily didn't show up at her insurance office in Effingham County. She called in sick. Monica was concerned but held back. She'd been burned trying to help before and figured it was Emily's personal business, like I'd said. Tuesday afternoon, Monica called Michael's office. He was there, working, not home fighting. She left a voicemail. Call me back. I'm worried. No response. By Wednesday, Monica and Clara had had enough. If Emily missed another day, they'd go to her. At 9:05 a.m., her car pulled into the lot. They relaxed until she walked in, left eye bruised, cheek swollen, barely covered by heavy makeup. Monica and Clara rushed her to the bathroom, locked the door. Monica pulled off Emily's sunglasses. Oh my God, Emily, she gasped. Emily was calm but tear-streaked. What happened? Clara asked. Emily broke down, spilling everything. When I got home, Michael was yelling, where was I, who was I with, why'd I throw the food? Said she was a big client. I snapped, said, so big you had to entertain her on your exam table? Monica winced. Emily's voice trembled. He lost it. Said this is how it is now. If he works late, I deal with it. Don't like it? Get out. I nodded, scared. He told me to clean up upstairs. Next morning, I was still in last night's clothes, face swollen, barely myself. Used ice packs all day. Michael was gone, came back Sunday, not a word. I didn't ask. That night, he wanted intimacy. I said no. Monday, he came home, showered, changed, left again. Monica and Clara stayed quiet, then fury took over. You need the cops, Monica said. He hit you. Emily sobbed. No, I want this marriage to work. I ruined one before. I can't fail again. Clara's voice sharpened. He laid hands on you, Emily. You think that's the last time? Emily whispered, I know, but I can't give up. Monica stood. I can't keep helping with this. She left. Clara stayed, snapped a quick photo of Emily's face, and walked out. She knew what she had to do. Clara left work early and drove to my shop in Savannah. I was under a pristine '65 Mustang, wrench in hand. I saw her, wiped my hands, and stepped out. She always thought I looked good, and that day was no different, jeans, work shirt, boots. Hey, Clara, I said, smiling. Car trouble? She shook her head. Need to talk. Alone. My smile faded. Sure, let's go to the office. Inside, I sat at my cluttered desk, gesturing for her to sit. I waited. She blurted, Emily's in trouble with Michael. My face hardened, then went cold. That's her problem. Good riddance. I paused. Shouldn't say that, even if I think it. What's this got to do with me? Clara showed me the photo of Emily's bruised face. I stared, no emotion. When was this? This morning, she said. I handed the phone back. Too bad. Clara snapped, What about your promise to Monica and me? You said if she was hurt, you'd do something. I leaned back, voice flat. Call the cops. It's assault. That's it. She raised her voice. This isn't some random attack. You told us if anyone hurt her, you'd want to know. I leaned forward, eyes burning. What do you want, Clara? Me to swoop in, save her, play the hero? She cheated, lied, broke me. Give me one damn reason to care about her pain. Clara saw through my tough front, saw the hurt underneath. Because you still love her, she said softly. I can see it. I looked away, jaw tight. You're wrong. I loved her once. Not now. Whatever's left isn't love. I stood. Tell her to call the cops. I'm out. Clara stared, shook her head, and paused at the door. I thought you were better than this. Never thought you'd let a man hurt your wife. I shot up, anger flashing. That's the point, Clara. She's not my wife anymore. If she was, I'd take care of anyone who touched her. But she picked that jerk over me. I was her husband, and she still chose him. I shook my head, voice breaking. She made her bed. I guess Emily wanted the high life as a doctor's wife, not the simple one I could give her as a shop owner. She made her choice, and now she had to live with it. Clara softened, her voice low. I'm sorry, Lucas. I didn't realize how much she hurt you. I nodded, my face tight. Tell her to call the cops. Tell her to file for divorce, she knows how. I'm sorry if I let you down, Clara, but I can't do this. Clara left without another word. I followed her to the door of my shop in Savannah. Sorry I bothered you, she said, glancing at my blank expression. I didn't answer, just watched her drive off. Clara thought Emily had screwed up big time. She'd hoped I'd step in, but now she wasn't sure how to help. Emily showed up to her insurance office in Effingham County Thursday and Friday, short-tempered and drained. Monday morning, she walked in with a faint smile, eyes brighter. Monica and Clara pulled her into the bathroom, locked the door. What's going on, Emily? Monica asked. What happened? Emily's smile was thin. Michael got jumped Friday night near his office. The guy told him to apologize to me or they'd finish it. Clara's eyes widened. How do you know it was Lucas? Emily laughed softly. I heard Michael muttering in the shower, cursing my ex said he hit like a truck. Clara admitted, that was me. I told Lucas what happened, showed him a picture of your face. Emily hugged her. Thanks, Clara. You gave me the push I needed. I'm leaving Michael. Filing for divorce tomorrow. Moving in with Monica till I get my own place. Clara shook her head. Don't thank me. I didn't hit your husband. Emily smiled. Maybe I should thank Lucas in person. Clara frowned. Don't. He's angry after what you did. It could get messy. Emily nodded. I know, but I owe him a thank you, at least. That night, Monica, Clara, and Emily walked into a bar on Bull Street in Savannah. Monica led, then Clara, Emily trailing behind. I was at the bar, nursing a whiskey, lost in thought. Monica nodded at Emily, who hesitated, then sat next to me. She noticed my bandaged arm, knuckles scratched. Her fingers brushed my hand gently. That looks painful, she said softly. I didn't turn, just glanced at her sideways. It's fine. It'll heal. I took a sip. What do you want, Emily? Her voice was pleading. I just want to talk, not fight. Can we? I gave a small nod, didn't pull away. I could feel she still wanted that connection, even after everything. Thank you for Friday night, she said. I know it was you. After all I did, you still helped me. I had to say it in person. I owe you that. She lifted my chin gently. You can't even look at me. He didn't hurt you, not a mark. He thought you were weak, but he was wrong, wasn't he? I gave a bitter smile. Guess so. I pulled away, took a drink, stared straight ahead. I'm leaving him, she said. Moving in with Monica, getting a divorce. I want to see you again, if you'll let me. I was stupid, Lucas. You're my real love. I want us back. I turned slowly, anger flashing in my eyes, and pulled my hand back. You want to thank me? Don't bother. My voice shook. Me when you left me for him? When did you leave me alone? Did you care? I snorted. No, you got what you wanted, a doctor, not some shop owner. You used me. My hands hurt, my arms busted, my girl walked out because I stood up for you, and I could still catch hell for it. You'll be with some new guy by the weekend, and I'll still be here, hurting. So just leave me alone. Emily froze, pale, stunned. Just go, I said coldly. She opened her mouth, but I waved her off. If you don't, I will. I jumped off the stool and stormed out, shooting Monica and Clara a look of pure resentment. Emily's eyes begged them. Go after him, Monica said. She ran outside, but my truck was already peeling out. The three went back to Monica's place, the air heavy with disappointment. No one expected it to end like that. Soon after, Emily quit her insurance job. The whispers and stares were too much. She took a low-paying receptionist job at a clinic in Savannah, not glamorous but peaceful. She stayed with Monica for 3 months, then rented a small apartment from a patient. Her divorce from Michael dragged on, but the court ordered alimony, enough to cover rent and bills with her new income. She kept calling me, leaving voicemails begging for a call back. Nothing. She sent emails too, no replies, no read receipts. Then came Friday night. Emily and Monica planned a girls' night at Emily's new place. Emily picked Monica up, and as they pulled into the lot, they saw Abigail, my cousin, and Nora, Emily's old coworker. What's their deal? Monica whispered. Emily frowned. No clue. I don't want to see Abigail again. Why's Nora with her? Monica stayed quiet, knowing why but keeping it to herself. They got out and approached cautiously. Abigail spoke first. Hi, Emily. Nora and I need to talk. Can we come in? Just us. Emily's eyes narrowed. What's this about? I don't want trouble. Monica stepped in. Why stir up old pain? Nora's face was serious. Emily needs to hear this. Please. Emily glanced at Monica, who nodded. Fine. Inside. They sat at the kitchen table, small talk about the apartment barely masking the tension. Nora spoke up. Emily, you've been sending Lucas letters and emails, right? Emily snapped, that's my business. If I want to reach him, I will. He never told me to stop. Abigail cut in. We're not here to hurt you. But Lucas and Nora are getting married next Saturday. The words hit Emily like a slap. Tears welled up. She couldn't speak. Nora leaned forward. Please stop calling, texting, emailing. I'm protective, Emily. I don't want you interfering with my fiancé. Abigail pulled out a red box. Listen to this CD. I'm sorry it ended like this. You deserve to know. They left. Emily turned to Monica. Did you know? Monica nodded, guilty. Nora told us weeks ago. I didn't want to break your heart. Emily slid the CD into the player. The Shirelles' Foolish Little Girl played, and Emily broke down. Abigail was right, there was nothing left. She'd lost the one thing that truly mattered, my love.